fucking riddance. No, seriously, 2013 can go screw itself. Just burn the yearbooks for this one. I don't even want it recorded for posterity. This was just the worst year for music that I can even remember. What an awful, awful 12 months it was. And it's not just me saying that either. The reviews are in. 2013, the worst year of music in recent memory. In fact, this year would have been better by being even more terrible. But unfortunately, pop seemed to be just operating at a 4 out of 10 throughout. Goddamn, I'm grateful for the catastrophe of 2013. At least it was a thing in a year where music just didn't seem to matter anymore. Even the individual genre charts were disappointing. Rap struggled for mainstream relevance, rock has almost disappeared completely, country music is barely even recognizable, and almost everything we had left was soulless garbage. Just awful, awful, awful all year round. Even putting together a worse list this year was difficult because so little was worth caring about one way or the other. Things have got to get better, right? I just want to get this over with. So, with perpetual lateness, I present to you the top 10 worst hit songs of 2013. Number 10.
And it's dark in a cold December.
Hey, Ed Sheeran. Hey, you know how I said some mean things about you? How I said that you were an ugly dork who writes embarrassingly clumsy songs about subjects that are way out of your depth and make you seem like a little kid wearing his dad's clothes? I don't know if I said all those things exactly, but I certainly meant to. Mr. Sheeran, I am so sorry.
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low.
Passenger's Let Her Go was destined from the beginning to make this list. One, it's from my favorite genre, the white guy with acoustic guitar. And secondly, why, are those some familiar chords I hear?
But you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss it starts to snow. Oh, you love her when you let her go.
God.
Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
More than anything, Let Her Go shows me that I was way too hard on Ed Sheeran. I mean, Ed's trying, comes up with halfway creative rhymes and melodies and chord structures about interesting topics. On the opposite end, you've got Passenger. Passenger's only this one guy, by the way.
Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart.
Now, unlike other wigwags, Passenger doesn't sound like a douchebag and he's not obnoxiously happy. But while those are common traits, the number one thing that a bad wigwag song has is a complete lack of talent, musical or lyrical. And while that willowy English voice might fool you, let me make it clear right now, this song is brainless.
Only know you love her when you let her go.
The way he uses the word you there implies some kind of universal wisdom, but you know what, leave me the hell out of it. You only know you love her when you let her go, if you're an idiot.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home.
And trust me, the rest of the song is just as dumb. In fact, in basically all matters of substance, this is a hair metal ballad. This is Every Rose Has Its Thorn, minus the stupid cheesy parts that gave it its charm. If only the lyrics were as good, but they're so hackneyed, even Bret Michaels looks like a poet laureate in comparison.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home.
You only hate elves when you're missing gnomes. You only hate Safari when you're missing Chrome. And you only miss Ed Sheeran when you're listening to Passenger, I guess.
And you let her go.
Number 9. I'm reading the year-end roundups, and it looks like this is confirming what I already suspected. This was the broiest year in country music history. Yes, country music has become a watch, with Chevy driving, ball cap wearing, beer drinking, ne'er-do-wells with absolutely nothing on their minds but girls and big old trucks. They're not here for a long time, just a good time.
Hey girl, what you think, girl?
Country music is experiencing what is in all likelihood the stupidest point in its existence. And I got so many to pick from if I want to pick one to represent the worst of the worst.
Yeah, the boys round here.
Blake Shelton's Boys Round Here? Nah, that one's too silly to
Got that sun tan skirt and
Luke Bryan's That's My Kind of Night? Ooh, that one's pretty awful. But at least it's an interesting awful. It at least has some kind of flavor to it. No, if I'm gonna pick out the worst of the worst, I gotta stick with the one that brought me to the dance.
Baby, you a song that make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
Florida Georgia Line are the faces of bro country for me. Mostly because they look the most like bros, especially that one on the right. Is it just me or is that the guy from Creed? I wonder what he's been up to. And Cruz is, in fact, impressively meat-headed.
Baby, you a song that make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
I mean, what the hell kind of pickup line was that? It's not like a joke or anything. You must be an angel, because I want to have sex with you.
In this brand new Chevy with a lift kit.
But Cruz made my list not just because it was stupid, but because of all the hip-hop, country, rap, party jams that we got this year. Cruz remix was by far the blandest. It was musical mush. It's country and rap with none of either strong points or even its memorable points. And for the record, it is now, officially, the biggest country hit of all time, because Billboard has apparently forgotten what country music actually is.
My window down, my seat back, my...
Matter of fact, fun story. Have you ever tuned into one of those really white pop stations that will cut the rap verses out of songs, so instead of hearing Snoop Dogg, you'll just have a really awkward blank spot? Well, I heard one that took Nelly's verse out of Cruz remix. Not the original Cruz, the rap remix. They censored the rapper out of the rap remix. And the weird thing was, I only barely noticed it was even missing. Because who cares? Florida Georgia Line don't need help to be drooly and tedious. They've got it covered. Oh, Big and Rich, what have you wrought?
I got my windows down and the radio. Get your radio.
NumberEight. I don't hate this band, okay? In most cases, I'd rather hear these guys on the radio than most of the other things I hear. And I know I'm about to make some people very angry by including them on the list. And a lot of other people will tell me that they're one of the worst bands in history, and I'm giving them way too much credit. But yeah, I like more than a few songs by this band. And in the doldrums of 2013, this band should have been a breath of fresh air. Instead, we got this. Look, Fall Out Boy are assholes. They've always been assholes. Even on most of their good songs, they're assholes. They're catty, douchey assholes to their girlfriends, their exes, to other bands, their dads. But my songs Know What You Did in the Dark is them being assholes to you, the listener. This isn't the worst song of the year, it's just the most obnoxious. Stop that. Every time Fall Out Boy have tried to be swaggering rock gods, they come across as the whiny emo boys they are. Their version of sex, drugs, and rock and roll is one where they don't have sex, there are no drugs, and the rock and roll sounds like Tenacious D's rotten leftovers.
My songs know what you did in the dark.
My songs Know What You Did in the Dark? They actually think that sounds cool? It ranks up there with Shawty is an eeny meeny miny mo lover as lines that should have just been immediately deleted. And really, this is just as irritating as all of Fall Out Boy's other really bad songs. Like anyone ever gave a crap about your imaginary dick-waving contest with Panic at the Disco. You don't care what I think as long as it's about you? Well, little wonder that everyone stopped thinking about you right after this.
My songs know what you did in the dark.
My songs Know What You Did in the Dark? Real rock stars would actually be doing those things in the dark. Fall Out Boy just watches you from the closet wishing they were in your jeans, remember? God, that's annoying. NumberSeven. As I film this, it's roughly about a week or so after Christmas. We're all still enjoying the holiday afterglow, playing with our new toys. But while you play your Assassin's Creed and your brand new PS4, I want to remind you that not everyone is so lucky, and especially now that the holidays are over, we really, really need to try and remember the people who are really, truly suffering.
Holy Grail.
Blue told me remind you niggas. Fuck that shit y'all talking about.
Yes, everyone, let's all stop and feel sorry for poor Jay-Z. Everybody just sit there and play your violins for the vastly rich and famous music legend with a beautiful wife and family. Oh, he just can't handle it. Why, occasionally he'll get a paper cut from swimming Scrooge McDuck style in his vast supply of money. All the hours he had to spend negotiating his $1 million Reebok endorsement deal took away time he could have been spending with his Samsung endorsement deal. All this pressure, it's so hard, you know. I already reviewed this, I still hate it. Can we just rename it 99 First World Problems? And I especially hate Justin Timberlake's pointless whining most of all. Give me a break.
You take the clothes off my back.
Cut that out! Cut that out!
Monty Python quote for any occasion. Next! NumberSix. I mean, come on, Jay-Z. No one wants to hear successful rappers whine about how hard they have it. Why can't rappers just talk about how good they have it? Oh wait, they all do that. Some worse than others.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here.
Oh, interesting.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
That's nice.
Started from the bottom, now my whole team here.
What do you want, a cookie?
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Is it just me, or does every time Drake wants to brag about how great he is, he does it in the most flat monotone possible? Started from the bottom, now we're here, every day, every day, every day. That's a motto, yellow, yellow, yellow. They know, they know, they know.
Yeah, I just think it's funny how it goes. Now I'm on the road, $500,000 for a show.
I don't know when rappers forgot this, but the journey is more interesting than the destination. As far as I can tell, though, there was no journey for Drake. He started at the bottom and then, poof, he was here.
And cause we started from the bottom, now we're here.
Did he start from the bottom? Doesn't matter. I don't know. If this song was all I had to compare it to, I would conclude that Drake grew up a rich Jewish guy from Long Island, or hell, maybe a tropical fish of some kind for all he knows about life and poverty.
I was trying to get it on my own. Working all night, traffic on the way home.
You worked all night and hit traffic. Dude, you still work all night, and even if you're in a limo, you still hit traffic. All he talks about is mild inconveniences and people shit-talking him now.
Let's tell stories about the man. Say I never struggled, wasn't hungry, yeah, I doubt it, nigga. I could turn your boy into the man.
What? When you say you turn a boy into a man, are you saying you have sex with him?
I can make you a man.
We don't like to do too much explaining. Story stay the same, I never changed it.
Yeah, have you considered changing your story? Because this one's kind of bad. I swear to God, most inconsistent waste of talent. I think it's fitting that one of the biggest hits of the year was denouncing obnoxious garbage exactly like this.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
What a useless little song. Next. NumberFive. 2013 was the year music criticism disappeared up its own ass. Yeah, music criticism this year was dominated by long, tiresome think pieces about whether Lorde is racist, or Macklemore is exploiting gay people, or Lily Allen was... God, I don't even know what you'd classify that as. We gotta invent a new word for that. And God knows, I'm certainly not immune to this kind of thing either, but really, this hyperbolic morality policing, it's just getting really goddamn exhausting. I mean, come on, people. Save your moral outrage for when you really need it.
Long as my bitches love me. My bitches love me. My bitches love me. Yeah. I could give a fuck by no hate alone. Pussy ass nigga stop hating.
2013 was not a good year for walking, talking reptile man Lil Wayne, who had such a bad 12 months he actually apologized for it. But what he really needs to apologize for is being this goddamn disgusting.
And all she eat is dick. She's on a strict diet.
Say what you want about blurred lines, or do what you want with my body. At least they swing. They got a beat. You can dance to it. This song is just vile, musically, lyrically, in every way.
She say, I never wanna make you mad. I just wanna make you proud. I say, baby, just make me come. Then don't make a sound.
God, I feel like an old lady, but what is there redeeming about this?
Real nigga, fuck these haters. These hoes got pussies like craters. Can't treat these hoes like ladies, man.
Does anyone else feel gross?
She wake up, eat this dick.
If you want to know why the biggest name in hip-hop right now is a goofy-haired white boy who raps about wearing ugly clothes, these last 3 songs are pretty much all you need to know about the state of mainstream rap otherwise. Like, this isn't clever or provocative, it's not even sexy. Even Lil Wayne doesn't seem to be enjoying it.
All my bitches love me, and I love all my bitches. But it's like soon as I come to my senses and
If his mindless hedonism isn't fulfilling him, it's a good thing he has all those other interests and pursuits to keep him occupied.
Long as my bitches love me.
This is smutty in the most witless, unattractive way from a man whose appeal I don't and have never understood. What is there to say? What jokes can I make about this? Here's your insightful commentary. Lil Wayne seems like a miserable human being.
Long as my bitches love me.
Yeah, bitches love him. So remember, if you like this song, Lil Wayne thinks you're a bitch.
Long as these bitches love me.
Number 4.
When the days are
Imagine Dragons set a land speed record this year for quickest squandering of their early promise. If this is a song about demons, why don't you sound more tortured? How do you make a Lighters in the Air YouTube-like Coldplay anthem about having demons? Now, I already went into this one in detail. But yeah, I did get a lot of questions I want to address about how a band could possibly sell out between their previous singles and this one when they're all from the same album. Well, you see, here's the thing. Radioactive and It's Time were on an EP they released before their first album, so there you go. And, okay, Demons was on that EP too. Okay, well, I mean, maybe it's possible they released those first 2 songs as singles before they released the EP, or maybe they found a wormhole and used it to go back in time and insert Demons on that EP with the other singles. I mean, something like that must have happened. I mean, it had to have, because otherwise that would mean I confused another boring no-name adult alternative act for a band that was actually interesting, which would make me a shitty music critic. And that certainly can't be true. God damn it, quit time traveling, Imagine Dragons. How am I supposed to like a band that breaks the laws of physics? Screw you, lawbreakers. Number 3. I may have shit-talked electronic dance music a bit too much this year. I don't hate EDM. I hate the EDM stuff that's gotten popular. But no, hate isn't even the right word. I just find it boring. I just find it meaningless. And even if it had meaning at one point, the electronica stuff sucks it out of it. Like, you hear this part right here. I don't know what you call that, but whatever it is meaningfulness anti-matter. I personally blame We Found Love, that underwritten remix of itself, which has proven disturbingly influential on the pop charts. But no, I don't think any of it on its own is actually bad, per se. Now, to get on this list, you have to go the extra mile.
I just wanna feel this moment.
they counting always real fast.
You know, I already did a video on this one. I couldn't come up with anything to say about it last time. I certainly don't have anything more to say here. There's no point in talking about it. It just sucks. It just plain sucks. Christina sucks on this, and Pitbull just sucks in general. And when the EDM well runs dry, he'll just go on to ruin some other genre.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. This bigger than boys, a diggity dog. I have them like.
Oh, I see. That's already happening. Cowboy hip-hop is the future, you say? Okay. Number 2.
The incident.
It's just not the most sensitive thing when you're in a museum about something so sort of solemn as Anne Frank and he's
no,
talking about
I
Bieber
don't think
fever.
she would have been
come
a
on,
believer.
man.
Yeah, not a great year to be Justin Bieber. It's getting increasingly hard to care about the former worst thing that ever happened to music. Once his testicles finally dropped, he basically became just another vacuous pop singer, and in 2013 I saw a lot less of him as his demographic started moving in one direction away from him. And rightfully so. They outnumber him 5-1, and they all seem like genuinely nice kids, as opposed to Bieber, who keeps revealing himself over and over as an unlikable little shit. The age of Bieber is definitely coming to a close. He's not worth discussing anymore. Unless he does something really, really bad. Yes, if you really need to prove that you are still capable of making terrible, terrible music, when all else fails, you can work with will.i.am. It worked for Britney Spears, and now it's working for Justin Bieber. Actually, does this sound actually that bad? Honestly, this is not that terrible. Did I make a mistake? Oh, there it is.
I got that power.
I put Scream and Shout way too low last year. I am not making this mistake this year. Or who knows, maybe it's still too low. Maybe calling it the second worst anything is still too generous.
They call me Willie, stay so cool, I'm chilly. I done made that melee, on my way to that Billy.
Speaking of Scream and Shout, I remember will.i.am at least used to come up with new ways to be awful, but nowadays he seems pretty content to write the same bad song over and over again.
I got that power.
It's just the beat from Dirty Bit. If he was going to keep recycling one of his songs over and over again, why that one?
Used to have a piggy bank, but now I got that bigger bank.
This one's 3 inches wider and shaped like a teddy bear.
And I take it higher and higher, higher and higher. I stay in fire tire, keep burning like that fire.
You know, I don't even like the Black Eyed Peas songs I said I liked. That feels like millions of years ago.
I got that power.
Unless that power is the power to attract 1,000,000 watts of hatred, no, you don't have hashtag that power, will.i.am. And before we get to number 1, let's look at some of the honorable mentions and runners-up for the list. Feeling 22? What does that mean? Dumb and broke? I know plenty about you, Taylor Swift, and I'd be happy to know less. Next. Now, generally, I like it when Drake gets his R&B on, but seriously, You're a Good Girl and You Know It sounds weirdly icky and insulting when he sings it. Also, Hold On, We're Going Home makes it sound like she has to pee.
So just hold on, we're going home. I wanna scream and shout and let it all out.
Awful last year, awful this year. I'm still not sure I shouldn't have put it on the list 2 years in a row. Okay, this is a good example of how EDM's repetitiveness hurts itself. They basically only gave her one line, and the more she repeats it, the more pathetic and desperate she sounds. Who knew Hayley Williams had to beg for sex like this? Worthless. This was going to be on the list until Passenger came along late in the year, for the record. Song of the year, for better or worse. Never has a song been so easy to like and yet so easy to dislike.
Try to domesticate you, but you're an animal.
Yeah, animals are what you domesticate, dumbass.
And when the daylight comes, I'll have to know.
Maroon 5 nowadays reminds me of like a towel rack, or a blender, an IKEA lamp. You know, just some kind of functional product, but not assembled with as much passion. Oh, right, yes, my bumper music. Yeah. Hey, remember when Taylor Swift had, like a personality? This is the first song of hers I've ever heard that can be sung by anybody. But it's probably not the last. I don't get it. Number 1. I think I've said this before, but the worst song of the year isn't the one I hate the most. I mean, it often is the one I hate the most, but that's not the criteria. Just hearing Chris Brown's voice often makes me inconsolably upset, but that alone wouldn't make a song the worst of the year. No, see, as always, bad is the absence of good. The worst song of the year is the one I gained nothing by listening to. It's the one I learned the least from. It's the one that doesn't reveal anything to me. It's the one that adds nothing to the conversation. And this year, this awful, awful year, there was only one song that utterly, completely, and totally wasted my time.
I got the eye of the tiger, the fire, dancing through the fire, 'cause you're gonna hear me roar.
You're gonna hear me snore, am I right? Yeah, 2013 effectively killed my hate crush for Katy Perry. I mean, last year was the breakup, I couldn't stand her anymore, but her work this year is like finding out that your awful ex has also seriously let themselves go in the meantime on top of everything else. You know, you just think, whew, dodged a bullet there. That's how I feel about Katy Perry. I wanted to do a full review of the song because I hated it so much, but there is literally nothing to say about it. I honestly don't understand how there's anyone on earth who could listen to this song and enjoy it.
I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything.
So you stand for something now? What? Name it. Name one thing.
I got the eye of the tiger.
Eye of the tiger, my ass. This is what the eye of the tiger sounds like. This is what you sound like.
I got the eye of the tiger.
And if this is what you sound like roaring, what did you sound like before? A starving, legless gerbil begging for food? Listening to this song is like what listening to anything this year was in the mainstream pop charts. It's meaningless, it's unimportant, it's bland, it's blank, it's worthless. It's like trying to eat air. There's no point, goddammit.
You're gonna hear me roar.
No, you're gonna hear me roar. Ahem. Screw 2013! I'm done.